This is one of the best places to live in Italy, but very few foreigners know it or even know where it is. But don't worry, because in this video I reveal the 10 best Italian regions to settle in for quality of life, how much homes and rentals cost, and why you should consider them. The first region I suggest you take a look at is Abruzzo, located in central Italy and facing the Adriatic Sea. Abruzzo is a true underdog in a positive way. It has never received the attention it deserves, yet it consistently surprises anyone who visits or chooses to live there. According to a recent survey by the association Land of Quality, Life and Opportunities, 50% of Italians interviewed said they would choose Abruzzo as their ideal place to live, mainly for its sustainable pace of life, the connection with nature, here a real star with natural parks, reserves and protected areas, and the overall good quality of services. The region is also an interesting opportunity from an economic standpoint. Property prices are still quite low compared to more popular areas, and they're among the lowest in Italy. On average, buying a home costs less than €1,400 per square meter, and rental prices also remain below the national average. The second region to discover is Umbria, another gem of central Italy, which, unlike Abruzzo, has no access to the sea. Umbria can be described as a smaller, quieter and cheaper version of Tuscany, both in terms of cost of living and property prices. In practice, it's a hidden gem, still relatively unknown to the major tourist and media flows that prefer Tuscany, the big sister bordering Umbria. If you love medieval villages, you'll find true treasures here, such as Assisi, Orvieto, Spoleto, Gubbio, and Todi. And even though there's no sea, the nature doesn't disappoint. Lakes, waterfalls, and numerous natural reserves with pristine landscapes. As I mentioned, the strengths include real estate as well. Buying a home costs just over €1,000 per square meter, similar to Sicily, and rental prices are also contained and remain below the national average. Among the best regions, Trentino-Alto Adige couldn't be left out, located in northern Italy along the border with Austria and Switzerland. Many of you might object, but Trentino has no sea, and it's not warm all year round. Why should I consider it? I included this region for three main reasons: extremely high quality of life, low crime rate, and environmental sustainability. Unlike most other regions, Trentino benefits from special legislation regarding taxes, services, education, and healthcare, allowing it to manage resources and funds independently from the central government in Rome. When visiting the region, you'll notice how this autonomy is used remarkably well. Well-maintained roads and public spaces, great respect for the environment that characterizes every corner of the territory, and polite, welcoming communities. Trentino is ideal if you love mountains, valleys, outdoor sports, and if you want a quieter lifestyle than what you find in typical tourist regions. There is no sea, that's true, but you'll find stunning lakes. The real drawbacks concern the cost of living, which is generally higher, and housing prices, among the highest in Italy. Buying a home here costs nearly €3,600 per square meter on average, while rental prices, for now, remain in line with the national average. The fourth region is Veneto, located in northeastern Italy, just below Trentino. I've lived here for almost 40 years, so I know the strengths and weaknesses of this territory very well. It's one of the richest regions in the country, with efficient public services and excellent quality of life. Healthcare in Veneto is considered the best in Italy, according to the report by the Ministry of Health. Having used it personally, I can confirm that the experience has almost always been positive. The territory is extremely varied and lacks practically nothing, mountains, sea, lakes, hills, and beautiful lagoons. Everything is reachable within a few hours from anywhere in the region. A distinctive aspect of Veneto is its strong work culture, often more pronounced than in other parts of Italy. This affects daily rhythms, which in major cities and industrial areas are quite fast-paced and similar to those in Lombardy, another region where people often end up living just to work. The situation changes a bit in the mountain areas and near the lakes, where the atmosphere becomes much more relaxed. As I said, we do have the sea, but in my opinion, it's not particularly beautiful, and it doesn't really match the quality of many areas in central and southern Italy. In recent years, the cost of living has increased, as have real estate prices, which are not among the lowest in Italy, both for buying and renting. Speaking of which, if you want to know what the cost of living in Italy is like, check out my detailed video, linked in the description. The fifth region I choose is Tuscany, in central northern Italy, facing the Tyrrhenian Sea. Here, introductions aren't necessary. It's one of the most famous and beloved Italian regions worldwide, thanks to its art cities, historic villages, and iconic landscapes that have become a true international postcard. Beyond its undeniable charm, Tuscany stands out for its quality of life and healthcare services. In the 2024 official ranking by the Ministry of Health, it ranks second in Italy among the regions with the best healthcare system. It's also the most sought-after region among foreign buyers, with about 17% of all property demand concentrated here. It's no surprise to find well-established expat communities in Lucca, Florence, Pisa, Siena, Arezzo, and villages like Cortona, Montalcino, and Montepulciano. The downside concerns the cost of living and real estate, generally high both for buying and renting, especially in more touristy areas. Good opportunities still exist, but the region's charm and strong international demand keep prices higher than in most other Italian regions. The sixth region I choose is Molise, in the lower central part of Italy, with a small access to the Adriatic Sea. Molise is without doubt the most underrated region in Italy, both by Italians, who jokingly call it the region that doesn't exist, and by foreign buyers, many of whom have never even heard of it. It's not a wealthy region, and it's not ideal if you're looking for nightlife, clubs, or glamorous events. Also because many young people move elsewhere for study or work. At certain times of the year, the atmosphere is surreal, and you feel like you are in another era, considering that we are no longer used to this level of silence and tranquility. This tranquility, however, is its greatest strength, and, in my opinion, the main reason to choose it, together with the fact that the cost of living is lower than in most other regions. If you have the chance to visit, I recommend exploring the coastal area of Termoli, one of the most charming and striking places. The real estate market offers many opportunities for buyers. The average property price is around 1,000 euros per square meter, while rentals remain well below the national average. The seventh region is Piedmont, land of wine, truffles and chocolate, located in northwestern Italy. Piedmont can be considered a quieter version of Lombardy. It offers economic stability, large cities with excellent services, and extremely varied terrain: mountains, hills, plains, rivers and lakes, but with less tourism and, as a result, less chaos than neighboring Lombardy. It's an ideal choice if you want the advantages of a developed northern region but prefer a calmer environment and, I'll add, generally cleaner air, since Piedmont doesn't have the same pollution levels found in some areas of the Po Valley. One aspect that surprises many is property prices. they're not as high as you'd expect, considering the quality of life and the strength of the local economy. Prices only began rising again in the last 2 years, and today the average cost to buy a house is around €1,400 per square meter. Rentals also remain quite affordable, even in Turin, the regional capital, which is much cheaper than Milan and other major Italian cities. And finally, we arrive in the south. The eighth region is Puglia, the famous heel of the Italian boot. Puglia is an ideal choice for foreign buyers looking for that authentic Italy that is so appreciated abroad. The climate is among the best in the country, over 300 days of sunshine per year, and mild winters greatly reduce the need for heating. Several Apulian cities rank among the top in Italy for best climate. The landscape is unique and instantly recognizable, typically Mediterranean, with crystal clear sea, and inland dotted with traditional pale stone villages, trulli, masterias, and stretches of centuries-old olive trees bordered by characteristic dry stone walls. If you're looking for postcard-perfect Italy, you'll find it here. On top of that, the cost of living is generally lower than the national average, making the region even more attractive for those planning to move here. As for the real estate market, excluding the most touristy areas, Puglia is not particularly expensive. The average price to buy a home is about €1,400 per square meter, and rental prices are lower than the national average. Another region that deserves a spot on this list is Emilia-Romagna, in northeastern Italy. In some ways, in terms of its landscapes and art cities, Emilia is somewhat similar to Tuscany, but its lifestyle is closer to that of Veneto, thanks to a very strong, deeply rooted work ethic. Several of its cities rank among the top in Italy for quality of life, such as Bologna, Parma, Reggio Emilia, and Modena. Personally, if I had to move, Emilia-Romagna would definitely be among my top 3 choices. Unlike in Molise, where people tend to be more reserved, the people of Emilia, and especially Romagna, are known for their warm hospitality, love for socializing, and the many venues along the coast. Integration into the community is generally easy, with plenty of opportunities to take part in social life. A critical aspect to mention concerns flooding, which has affected some areas of the region in recent years. Exceptionally heavy rainfall and the hydrogeological risk of the rivers have caused damage to homes, infrastructure, and unfortunately to the population. Since it's a relatively wealthy region, property prices aren't particularly low, but the average values are still in line with the national average. The last region I chose is Friuli-Venezia Giulia. Have you ever heard of it? It's in the northeast, bordering Austria and Slovenia, and I included it in the ranking because the quality of life is truly high, even though the cost of living and home prices, both for buying and renting, are lower than in neighboring Trentino and Veneto. Besides these 2 key aspects, one thing I love about Friuli, and that you'll see if you ever visit, is that it's a clean and orderly region, much more so than other Italian regions, which, even if famous, are not as fortunate in this regard. The natural beauty and historic villages are kept in excellent condition, not only by local authorities, but also by residents, who care greatly about preserving the territory. Respect for rules among citizens plays a key role in keeping crime rates among the lowest in Italy. You feel a strong sense of safety that makes Friuli a truly peaceful place to live. The average cost to buy a home here is lower than the national average, as is the average rental price. The highest real estate values are found in the beautiful city of Trieste. What do you think of the 10 regions I showed you? Is there one you'd like to choose for living in Italy? Make sure to check the description, where you'll find my video on the cost of living in Italy and the 7 mistakes to avoid when buying a home here. Ciao!